Good morning, everyone, once again. So today is the 8th of December 2022, and we will be looking at the legal regime for frontier fields, or the legal regime for frontier concessions. Legal regime for frontier fields, or the legal regime for frontier concessions. So if you recall, you would have heard me again and again making reference to frontier fields, frontier concessions, and all that. How many of us can remember I always make reference to it? Yeah, frontier acreages and all that. So we want to see what has the law provided about that. I will just give us some background again that for the most part, petroleum production in Nigeria has been confined to the south, and even in the south, down south, to the Niger Delta axis, the onshore and offshore axis of the south. And so even though we have other southern states in the country, like the east is still part of south, the west is still part of the south, petroleum exploration and production it's not been going on there because the geological findings have indicated largely that those areas do not have petroleum in commercial quantity. They are not very, very promising, and so oil companies have focused their attention on the Niger Delta axis largely. Are you with me? But that notwithstanding, Nigeria has sought to expand and develop its petroleum reserves because it is estimated that Nigeria has about 37 billion barrels of oil, and at the current rate of production, if we produce at 2 million barrels per day, in less than 41 years, that petroleum will be extinguished, all the wells will be dry. And so, are you up to 20, young man? Okay, so let's assume this man is 21. By the time he is 61, if we continue producing at this rate, there will not be oil in Nigeria. Some of you are maybe 20 now. By the time you are 60, we will not have petroleum. Are you with me? We could still have gas, but we will not have crude oil. And so a responsible government will naturally be worried and concerned, can we expand our petroleum concessions by involving ourselves in more exploration? Are you with me so far? Now the international oil companies, like I told you before, have decided to focus their attention on the south, and they are largely unwilling to explore into the northern part of the country and into other areas because they believe that from their geological surveys and investigations, they can say with almost a high level of certainty that there's no oil there, and so no need to waste your time and your resources. Are you with me? But the federal government of Nigeria has been concerned. There's a political concern, and then there's a purely genuine economic concern. Tarila, are you with me? Are you okay? Yes. So if you're not, you can sleep a bit. You can lay down your head and let us connect with us. No wahala. Can I continue, please? Yes, sir. And so they have had this concern that, so from the purely genuinely economic perspective, is the fact that if we're able to have more discoveries, then it will help the government in the long and short run because, like I told you, petroleum is what feeds government in Nigeria. Petroleum contributes over 70% of federal government revenue, and over 90% of the state like Bayelsa, I always say it will be over 99% of government revenue is derived from petroleum. Some people ignorantly say petroleum contributes 80% or 90% of GDP. You should not say that because you have gone through my class. Petroleum contributes currently about 10% of GDP. What is GDP, my son? Yes, so it contributes about just 10% of our GDP. So the whole, what Nigerians produce annually, what if you factor in petroleum, just about 10% of what Nigerians produce. So agriculture produces more. Out, please. We have the class. Thank you. So what the country produces at the end of the year, agriculture contributes more. Are you with me? Recently, telecoms even has overtaken petroleum. So there are a number of other viable sectors that contribute more than petroleum. Why then is petroleum so important, so crucial? It is very, very important and crucial for two reasons. Number one, it drives government. The profits that are derived from petroleum go to who? To government. But the profits that are derived from telecoms goes to the hands of private entrepreneurs. The profit that the Fulani herdsman is making from selling his cows doesn't go to government. It goes to his pockets. Yes, my dear. So all of what is produced are factored in determining GDP. Tarila, are you with me? Yes. So all of what Nigerians produce, private and public sectors, are factored in determining the country's gross domestic product. And for that reason, petroleum is not the major producer of revenue for the country. It is the major producer of revenue for who? For government. And that is number one reason why it is very, very important. Number two reason why it is extremely important is because it produces about 90% of forex. 90% of forex. You know what I mean by forex? Yeah. Foreign exchange, foreign dollars and pounds and all that. Because Nigeria is not a largely exporting country. Our major export is petroleum. So if you say, what does Nigeria export? Number one is petroleum. Are you with me, my son? So petroleum can contribute about 85% to 90% of our annual exports. The rest things we produce are consumed in country. So the Fulani man that is selling his cow, the woman that is having chicken in her house, all of what they produce is factored into GDP. But it is consumed in country. And so because it's consumed in country, it is not exported. I don't know if you understand me. And are you with me? And because it is not exported, it does not earn forex. And you need forex if you are going to be involved in international trade. So petroleum becomes then extremely important to Nigeria, first because it drives government revenue, and secondly because of its forex earning capabilities. And so if this man is into farming, he has a pig farm and he needs to buy some medicines for his pig and some equipment from China. He can't do that with Naira. He will need dollars or pounds or yen. Is that also? Where will he get that dollars from petroleum? Are you with me? And so the petroleum that we sell monthly, it is housed with CBN, Central Bank of Nigeria, that now releases these funds to banks. And when they release these funds to banks, banks now sell these forex to you. So if this man now is a pig farmer that wants to now buy equipment for his pigs, where will he buy the forex from the bank? Is that not so? And so he goes to the bank and says, I'm about to import equipment for my pigs. I can't buy it in Naira, but Chinese man does not know Naira. Then he uses his Naira, it's 100,000 Naira, and he buys $10,000. It is with that dollars that he will trade. And so the moment petroleum begins to nosedive, the moment our production of petroleum begins to nosedive, it affects the rest of the economy. Because soon in Anambra State that wants to buy equipment for his cars, he will not be able to have forex. Are you with me? And so that is why the moment there is a shake in the petroleum sector, the economy can go into recession. So the Nigerian economy is very, very volatile. It is very, very volatile because we are depending on a resource for our forex that is extremely volatile. And so the moment that resource is affected, the rest of the sector is affected. I don't know if it's clear. If we were exporting other commodities and petroleum was contributing 9% or 20% of our forex, then any problem in the petroleum sector will not have such an impact on the Nigerian economy as it does. And so in 2014, when the price of petroleum reduced to as low as $35 per barrel, Nigerian economy went into recession. Not because our GDP had reduced. Our GDP was still high. Petroleum still contributed just about 10% or 11% of GDP. But because our forex, where we get forex from, has been affected. And government that is a major employer of labor in this country was now broke. And government was unable to pay salaries. Many of us were not paid. Sometimes once in 2 months, once in 3 months, you get your salary. And it is to that salary that you get, that you trade. So the whole thing about the economy is linked. But what you should not say is that petroleum contributes 70%, 80% of what GDP. That will be okay for the layman who doesn't know, but it should not come from you because you have gone through my class. Now, I said this, you have another class. When is it? 12 o'clock? Is the man coming?
Yes.
Who is the man?
Mr. Asai.
Has he reached school?
He was not appointed because
What?
he is almost here.
Okay. Okay, so if the man is almost here, we'll have to take it. Is he here? Is this all?
Yes.
Okay. When he comes, I'll go. I think we should just call it a date.
So I have a question.
Yes, my dear.
Sir, I learned that petroleum is a non-renewable resource.
Yes.
Does it mean that if there's a shake in petroleum, it affects our foreign exchange? How then will Nigeria try not to go into recession? If it's only petroleum we're exporting out, and I don't know whether there's anything we have that will give us.
Okay, forex.
Yes.
Two things. Number one, we have to reduce our imports, our dependence on foreign commodities. So if we are all sending our children abroad to do masters that they can do here, to study law, today Nigerian going to study law in Canada for. You don't need any equipment to study law, it's just books. You can do it here. So we ban all Nigerians from going abroad to study non-science course. If it's a science course, I understand because they have equipment. You need equipment to study science. That also. You don't need equipment to study no economics or religious studies. So if you ban all Nigerians, but you can't do that, but let's assume we're in a military dictatorship, and you ban all Nigerians from going abroad to study non-science, non-engineering courses, then our need for forex will reduce. We have Nigerian private schools now. My children were attending a school called Bluebell in Port Harcourt. And you know, Nigerians are vain, V-A-I-N, and we're not very, very nationalistic or patriotic. And so ordinary uniform that this woman should have sewn in Aba, she's importing it from abroad. How will you import uniform from abroad for children? And it is a selling point when she's talking to parents in PTA. We import our things from Cambridge. That's our word. And that is forex. So that is putting pressure on what? The forex. So many of the things we now use are things that we ought not to have even used forex for. Toothpick. Then cars. Cars. And so if we become patriotic, most of those things will have been produced in India with gas.
I thought the gas, we have it more in Nigeria,
yes.
But we are not commercializing.
We'll talk about gas at some point, yes. So that is one aspect that will reduce our dependence. Are you with me? Then if we begin to produce more, we'll be able to export more. If we turn from being a consumer nation, so that for that to happen, we have to develop other sources of our economy, like agriculture. Nigeria used to be the largest exporter of palm oil until Indonesia has overtaken us. Indonesia now has so much. It has now become one of their major currency earners, and despite the fact that they produce petroleum significantly. Malaysia has also overtaken Nigeria. So all these are all the factors. Everybody left everything and focused on petroleum because it's cheap money, it's easy money. You don't put anything. You simply give the license to oil companies. You can be sleeping at home. They are producing the oil, selling the dollars, and you are squandering. And after some time, you become indisciplined, you become bloated, and you discover that the crucial economic sectors have all been destroyed. So there's the area of corruption also. People stealing the money, and when they steal the money, they want to trap it. Now Buhari is saying that he wants to. It's changing the naira now. Is that also? Yes. So those who have stolen money will discover that they are now trapped. So next time I steal money, I don't want to put it in naira because the government policy can mess me up. So I convert it to dollars. That is putting pressure on it again. Is that also? And export these dollars to Dubai. So all of these factors combined have had very, very negative effect on the economy. So, but if we start being more and more patriotic, thank God we have a number of private universities that are really, really trying. If we stop sending our children abroad, those who have money, instead of going to send my children abroad, I send them to Afebabalola University or Covenant University. At least we are paying in naira. But the funny thing is that some schools are now even asking that you should pay in dollars. And that is what the CBN should be able to take a stand against. There are some private schools in Nigeria now where they require you to pay in dollars. That should be illegal. That should be an offense. But Nigerians are very vain. There's this woman that has a school in Port Harcourt. It was in my former church, and she came to my house and we were talking, and she said they pay in dollars. And when you say such things, because Nigerians are vain, that is what they even like. They pay in dollars. And they import their things from abroad. And so we despise everything Nigerian, and anything from abroad we appreciate. But it's not entirely true. We have to start being patriotic. God will help us in Jesus' name. Yeah. So my time is up. The man is not here. He says it's close.
Yeah, that's what he said.
So we'll give him that space. And then I want to finish this topic this week. So today is Thursday. After the man is done, what next do you have? Is that the last class of the day? Yes. So when he's done, I'll wait. I'm going to Port Harcourt, but I'll wait. It's 12 o'clock. I will try and wait. If I am not able to wait, then I will deliver the class via Zoom. Because I want us to finish this talk on frontiers today so that we can move to something else next time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.